Obama's plan to Islamicize America. At a meeting of the David Allen Lewis Eschatology Club a year ago in Springfield, Missouri, where I was the featured speaker, I was told by the organizers that in the previous monthly meeting, Pastor Don Jones made a disturbing statement about President Barack Obama's plan to Islamicize America. Jones went to one of his orphanages in Haiti after the massive earthquake there and met with a senior UN official, who said Obama had told him that the US would be a Muslim country by 2016, or by the end of his second term in office. While that may seem far-fetched, it is not beyond the realm of possibility. First, Obama's biological father was a Muslim, which makes the president a Muslim. His stepfather was an Indonesian Muslim who raised Obama as a Muslim in a mosque and madrassa, Islamic religious school, in Indonesia until age 11. His half-brothers in Kenya are Muslims. My wife Rachel, who is a radio and TV monitor in the Arabic language for Israel Radio in Jerusalem, has picked up many broadcasts indicating that the Arabs see Obama as a Muslim. In one broadcast prior to the 2008 elections, the Saudis claimed that we will have a Muslim in the White House. Another Saudi broadcast said, Obama's job is to terminate the Shiite threat, Iran, and the Jewish threat, Israel. And if he cannot do this, he should pack his bags and go home. America has always been a Judeo-Christian nation, but demographically at least, this is no longer true. While there are more than 250 million Christians in the US, the 6 million Jews are now outnumbered by Muslims who total about 20 million, 9 million Iranians who fled after the fall of the Shah, 7 million Arabs and at least 3 million black Muslims, with the remainder being from Somalia and the former Yugoslavia. Numerically, the Jews are now number 3 or 4 along with the Hindus in the US, whose population is about the same as the Jews. According to Obama's Inauguration Day speech, America is a Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu country. Numerically, he is right. So much for Judeo-Christian America. In the June edition of Israel Today, I wrote about the worsening conditions of the Christians in Egypt, Syria, Lebanon and Iraq. International investment in Egypt has all but dried up since the revolution. What international, Christian, corporation will invest in a country which is killing and ethnically cleansing its Christians? So the Egyptian economy appears doomed to collapse, which would create fertile ground for a takeover by the radical Muslim Brotherhood. This would leave 70 million Muslims in Egypt in dire poverty. The same applies to other countries in the Middle East that could be taken over by Islamic militants. In the case of Syria, the ruling Muslim Alawite sect will probably share the same fate as the Christians. This could lead to a flood of Arab Muslims to greener pastures in the West. The Bible says Egypt will be a desolation and Egyptians will flee to other countries because the nation will be uninhabitable for 40 years, Ezekiel 29. If the official Syrian newspaper Tishrin is correct in saying that 600,000 Palestinian refugees and Syrians will march on the Golan Heights to reclaim their land, then a war with Syria is inevitable, which means that Syria will be a desolation as well, Isaiah 17. The result could be tens of millions of Muslims fleeing to the US and Europe. President Obama would welcome these brethren on humanitarian grounds, and in effect, America would become a Muslim country. I was just convicted and given a 3-year jail sentence in Switzerland for helping defeat a plan to build minarets at the nation's mosques by a 57% majority. But the Muslims in Switzerland are already returning with a new minaret initiative. They are tenacious in their plans to Islamicize Switzerland and Europe. Why not the US?